He didn't just preach about faith. He convinced hundreds of thousands of people that he could create a nation of his own, separate from the United States. And they believed him. This is the story of this man named Gerald Payne. Gerald Payne was born in 1933. By the time he reached his 50s, he wasn't a politician. He wasn't a revolutionary. He was a pastor, a preacher, a self-proclaimed faith healer standing behind a pulpit. He presented himself as a man chosen by God, a man with special insight, special authority, and a special mission. In the early 1990s, he became the leader of a religious organization called Greater Ministries International, based in Tampa, Florida. On the outside, it looked like a growing Christian movement. On the inside, it was something else entirely. What was really happening behind those church doors? No one knows. Payne preached with confidence. He spoke about faith, sacrifice, obedience, divine reward. But his most powerful teaching was something he called gifting. He told followers that if they gifted money to God through his ministry, God would return it to them. Not slowly, not symbolically, but doubled in about 17 months. He was careful with his words. This was not an investment. It was not a business opportunity. It was a test of faith. And if you questioned it, it meant you lacked belief. Would you have stayed silent just to prove your faith? Many who joined were not wealthy. They were elderly, working class, deeply religious, or financially desperate. Payne told them their struggles were temporary, that God was about to bless them, that this was their moment. Some gave their life savings. Some gave retirement funds. Some even took out loans they couldn't afford. They believed they weren't giving money to a man. They believed they were giving money to God. If you truly believed God promised to double your money, would you hesitate? At first, it worked. Early participants were paid back. Their money doubled. They told friends. They told their family. Churches filled. Greater Ministries grew rapidly. At its peak, more than 500,000 people were involved. Over $500 million flowed through the organization. Payne and other leaders lived comfortably. Luxury homes, nice cars, private travel, all funded by faith. Did anyone stop to question where the money was really coming from? No. Behind the scenes, there were no investments, no businesses, no divine multiplication. It was a classic Ponzi scheme. Money from new followers was used to pay older followers. As long as new money kept coming in, the system survived. But when the flow slowed down, everything collapsed. And that's when the faith was truly tested. By the mid-1990s, payments started arriving late. Then they stopped altogether. Phone numbers disconnected. Offices closed. Leaders vanished. Followers were told God was testing them, that their blessing was delayed, that they simply needed more faith. How do you admit you were deceived when you thought you were serving God? Some waited in silence. Others lost everything. Families were torn apart, and many felt too ashamed to speak up. As pressure grew, Payne's teachings became even more extreme. He reportedly claimed his ministry was above U.S. law, that God's authority came first, that Greater Ministries could one day operate independently, almost like its own nation, governed by divine rules, not federal ones. This wasn't just faith anymore. It was power. What happens when belief turns into authority, and authority goes unchecked? In 1998, the U.S. government stepped in. Federal investigators uncovered fake records, misused funds, leaders enriching themselves. Gerald Payne was arrested. He was charged with conspiracy, mail fraud, wire fraud. The image of a holy man collapsed overnight. In federal court, Payne was convicted. Greater Ministries International shut down completely. No refunds. No miracles. No promised blessings. The aftermath. Many victims never recovered. Some lost their savings forever. Some lost their faith. Others still believe Payne was innocent, that he was being persecuted. Even today, the damage remains. This wasn't just financial fraud. It was emotional, spiritual, psychological.